Developing story right out of Newark, New Jersey tonight. Dock workers are rushing to unload a large container ship at the port there after someone heard knocking coming from inside one of the large containers. The ship, which originated in the Middle East, pulled into port this morning. Its final destination was supposed to be Norfolk, Virginia. Fox 5's Melanie Alnwick is in the newsroom with the details on this one. Mel?
Well, Laura, you know, this is a threat that security experts have warned of for years, the idea that terrorists could sneak themselves or even nuclear weapons into the United States on cargo ships. And while we still don't know the details about this morning's security scare, it does bring up new questions about the security of our nation's 3,700 ports. This morning, security vehicles and ambulances descended on Port Newark. As that cargo ship docked, Customs and Border Patrol heard knocking inside during an at-sea inspection. Now, instead of heading for Norfolk, Virginia, the ship instead diverted to Newark, and it was there that authorities then went to the ship. They unloaded each container. They had to pry it off from the outside and begin inspecting for stowaways. The ship started out in the United Arab Emirates, loaded in India, and made one stop in Pakistan. Its last port was Egypt on June 15th. But still, by midday, there's no sign of stowaways. The search, however, does continue. And more than 9 million cargo containers enter U.S. seaports each year. They're about the size of a tractor trailer. Most of the ships that come into the U.S. are foreign-owned and foreign-crewed, and security experts have warned about a variety of terrorist threat scenarios, such as using containers to smuggle terrorists or even nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons. Congress continues to look at ways to upgrade port security. David Gartenstein-Ross, a senior fellow at George Washington University's Homeland Security Institute, though, says citizens shouldn't expect or want complete container inspections.
You don't have 100% screening. It's screening that's very much risk prioritized, so you get this debate about whether in our national security interests you need to have 100% of the containers screened. I think that screening 100% of the containers would be a total and complete waste of resources.
And, you know, he says that because he says that there are more problems with the actual physical borders and that we need to put our money and our resources at border security before we put it into container security. Now, it just so happens that the House is scheduled to vote on a port security bill tomorrow, which sponsors say will enhance security measures at overseas ports and reduce costs. We'll see what happens with both of those, Laura. Still a developing story tonight.
Yeah, and this situation certainly will be on the minds of members tomorrow as that happens. Melanie Alnwick, thank you.